Oh my gosh.
What?
I just can't find the show now. Alright, now let's do live. All right, 50 seconds. Live. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's good.
VGC app.
This is Radio Lex, the voice of the people. WLXU 93.9 LPFM, Lexington, Kentucky.
Is it recording? Is it recording?
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of Lexington Community Radio or its board of directors. The views expressed are solely those of the programmers.
You are listening to Off the Cuff. Now, here's your host, Adam Banks.
Welcome everybody to Off the Cuff. I am Adam Banks coming at you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you for listening to the show and thank you for tuning in to WLXU 93.9 FM. In addition to listening to us on the radio, you can check out our Facebook live stream at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks, or you can download the Radio Lex app on your smartphone device to listen to us anywhere in the entire world. You can also stream the show on the website at radiolex.us, which I feel like more and more people are doing. Amber Turner and I are both broadcasting from the Deborah Hensley Studios here at Radio Lex on North Limestone. It is February the 9th, 2023. What a beautiful, gorgeous day it is outside, Amber. It is 70 degrees. My watch says 70 degrees.
Yeah, well, the car said 66 on the way over.
I'll take
so
70. I don't remember many February days where we've had this kind of weather.
I don't think I ever remember any that it's been this beautiful.
I'm vibing.
Hey,
As
I
you-
know, I can tell. You got a whole vibe over there today.
What do you? I don't know if anybody is watching the Facebook Live or not, but if you want to tune in to facebook.com/offthecuffwithoutabanks, you can see this go chain that I'm rocking. I decided to just try something new.
Yeah.
You know, turned 35, felt
Yeah.
a little frisky, and I was like, you know what? Why not try a gold chain?
A gold chain.
When is the last time maybe you took a fashion risk? Because I feel like a gold chain at
Yeah.
my age is a fashion risk.
Oh, it's a fashion risk.
When's the last time you did something like that?
Literally, look at what I have on today. I take them every day.
Yes.
Every day.
Well, I it's going to take some time to get used to.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something that I could wear every day.
Yeah. Is it just going to be a mood chain?
Maybe. It's probably.
Yeah.
And today's one of those days.
Hey, you know what? That's cool.
I just wonder if I will regret it. Like
Yeah.
Kristen Cavallari regretted probably
Her choker.
wearing that choker.
Yeah.
on
Well,
the
I think
beach.
she's even said she regretted that.
Yeah.
So, okay, we'll use this today, this conversation. If you like it today, we'll come back in a year.
But Amber, it is February the 9th, which means Valentine's Day. The romantic holiday is approaching on February the 14th. That is this coming Tuesday. Are you and your hubby, Wiley, going anywhere to celebrate?
All I know is if you're listening, Tom, I better get some flowers and some strawberries.
Would you like a date? Do you think this is a good Valentine's date? Dinner and a movie.
That's perfect.
That's perfect, right?
Yes, even if you want to do it at home. Dinner at home and movie at home.
Dinner at home, movie at home. That's perfect. Movie at home is even better.
Oh, yes.
Because it's more intimate. You could have dinner at home, movie at
Uh-huh.
home. That's perfect. And the thing about watching movies at home, you don't have to watch old movies if you want. You can rent the new ones.
Oh, you can stream them.
But Amber, there's so many romantic movies that have existed in our life. Almost every movie has a romantic spin to it. Even Scarface,
Yeah.
for instance, it's got a love story in it
Uh-huh.
because Michelle Pfeiffer and what's his face, Scarface,
Yeah,
is kind of in an entanglement.
yeah,
But my point is, there's a lot to choose from.
yeah.
A lot of romantic movies, a lot of rom-coms, and it made me start thinking, Amber, of some of the most romantic movie moments
Okay,
of all time.
okay.
Now, is there a movie that comes to mind that you think of that's just blows you away, like a moment in a movie that just says, wow, that's, to you, that just says, that is so sweet, that is so romantic?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to say it, and every female is going to be like, what? It's Titanic.
Oh.
Absolutely. It's always going to be Titanic.
Which part? The one where she's flying? or
Which
the
part
one...
not? When he's drawing her, that's such an intimate moment.
Yes.
You know, that's a couple moment. When he's drawing her, when he is helping her, you know, get up out of the water, when he's putting her up on that door,
Yes,
everything.
yes, he puts her on the door at the
Uh-huh.
end and lets her live.
Lets her live.
Titanic is a very romantic movie. What about the movie When Harry Met Sally?
Oh,
I have a clip here from that movie that I want to share with the audience. I think this is a clip that should be played because it's romantic. Because sometimes this is all a woman wants to hear. Now, this is about this man named Harry and this woman named Sally. They were friends, but they were she kind of friend zoned him.
Yeah.
And he fell in love with her, and she was going after all these wrong guys, and he finally confessed his love for her at New Year's Eve, right before midnight. Take a listen. What do you think about that?
Oh my gosh, I'm going to start crying.
If a man said that to you, you would
Uh-huh.
say, okay, you're the one.
I'd say, all right, Ralph, let's run away together.
That is a romantic moment.
Absolutely.
It is a romantic moment. So, Amber, it made me start thinking of other romantic movie moments. What about The Wedding Singer?
Oh, yes.
At the end of the movie where he sings this, he crashes onto the plane. He gets onto the plane and he crashes the party. He basically hijacks the first class and gets Billy Idol's guitar and sings a song to his to the girl he loves, who's on the plane and coach with the guy she's going to marry. Take a listen. What'd you think of that?
Oh, my goodness.
It was a beautiful song that he wrote for her, and he got on the plane to save her from going to marry the guy that he didn't want her to marry.
That she shouldn't have been marrying.
I think that's one of the most romantic movie moments in movie history.
Absolutely, it is.
There's The Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah.
When it's the cartoon where the dogs are eating the spaghetti,
Yes.
and then they kiss.
Yeah.
You already mentioned Titanic being
Yep.
iconic. What about the Jerry Maguire movie?
Oh.
At the end, where you have those two iconic lines where he looks at her and says, "You complete me," and she looks at him and says, "You had me at hello."
Boom.
And there was no music.
Mm-mm.
There was no special effects, glitter, sparkles going off. It was quiet, and they embraced in a hug. And that was a bold choice, creative choice by the movie producers.
Oh, and it's definitely a realistic moment. You know, that I think makes it more personable. Usually when you are having these kinds of conversations, it's, not glitter. It is just small, intimate, quiet. It captured what it's really like.
What about The Notebook?
Oh, well,
When he finally meets back up with her after not seeing her for 20 years, and she's like, "Why didn't you write me?" And he's like, "I wrote you 365 letters. I wrote you every day." But her mom was hiding the letters.
hiding them from her.
And then he kissed her and said, "It's never been over." And it's in the rain.
On a boat.
On a boat. What about, I love this movie here. There's a scene in this movie, Something's Gotta Give. And it's a Jack Nicholson and Diane Keaton movie. It's about two older people who fall for each other.
Okay.
And Jack Nicholson's character he's like 65, 66. He's only dated 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds.
Yeah.
And he's never been in love, but he finally meets a woman his
Yeah.
age that he falls for.
Oh, wow.
And here's a little scene from that movie. Very romantic. And then they embrace with a kiss, and they kiss in the snow. That's a romantic movie. And what I love about that movie is you really don't think they're going to end up together.
Yeah.
Because she moves on because he doesn't want to be with an older woman. So she moves on and finds somebody else. But in the end, he flies to Paris to get his lover back.
Hey,
Have you seen that movie?
I have.
Do you like it?
I do like that.
Julia Roberts has been in several rom-coms. Some people may even call her the queen of rom-coms. She's done Pretty Woman. She has done My Best Friend's Wedding. There's been so many romantic movie moments
Runaway Bride.
for Julia Roberts. Runaway Bride. But maybe none as romantic as the scene in Notting Hill, where she falls in love. Julia Roberts' character is a rich, famous person, and she falls in love with a poor guy from Notting Hill. And here is the iconic mic drop from Julia Roberts in Notting Hill. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
And that's very iconic. There's so many, Amber. There's Dirty Dancing.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
No, they don't.
Is there anything more romantic than the movie Ghost?
Oh.
When Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore are molding that
Clay.
clay?
Yep.
Is there anything more
Unchained Melody
Is
in the
there anything
background.
more romantic than that?
No.
What about in the movie Brokeback Mountain? Have you seen that?
I have several times.
And it's I've never seen it, but it's listed here as one of the most iconic scenes in movie history because of the two lovers falling in love with each other, but society won't allow them to be together.
I can't quit you.
I can't quit you. That was the scene
that's what he said. I
that they're-
can't quit you.
that they're talking about. So many iconic movie moments. So, folks, you don't have to go and watch a brand new one. There's so many in the archives. There's so many movies in the library for you to just go and watch. So many iconic romantic movie scenes to choose from. But yes, is there any that I left off?
Oh my gosh, Benny and June with Johnny Depp back in the day. Oh
Yes.
my gosh, it just shows two people falling in love in a weird way.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I think that's
The Family Man.
Bed of Roses.
Have you ever seen The Family Man with Nicolas Cage?
Yes.
Oh, that's romantic because he gets a glimpse of what his life would have been like if he would have married her.
Mm-hmm.
So many. And like I said, every movie in the world has a love twist somewhere in the middle of this.
Oh yes.
So it's hard to think of the top most romantic movies in the world, but I just wanted to just talk about, for just a brief moment, the most romantic movie moments.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we covered pretty big highlights.
Absolutely.
But it is Valentine's Day in just a few days. Still got time to get out and get that box of chocolates and flowers for your loved one. But ladies and gentlemen, stick with us. We still have lots more Off the Cuff with Adam Banks coming at you live after these words. We will be right back.
Hi, I'm Lily Rochelle,
And I'm Matt Daly.
and we're the hosts of a new podcast called Undivided. You are listening to Radio Lex, the voice of the people, WLXU 93.9 LPFM in Lexington.
Radio Lex has the support of vinyl sponsor Kentucky Utilities.
Is that working and stuff?
So far, nobody said anything.
Will you text Wally and just see?
Tom, get on the.
Has your
Yeah.
pride got you riled up? Are you running late?
I see Wade on there. It's unlikely for Wade to be watching on Facebook, so I was just wondering.
Likelihood of a crash.
I'll
Take a
just
deep
check
breath,
that myself.
Focus
Oh,
on where you
I don't
are,
have that.
not where you need to be.
Where the
Check your
I
grips.
mean the
Relax your grip on the
website.
steering wheel. If your emotions are still getting in the way, get off the road.
Okay.
Get out of your car.
We're
stretch,
good.
Or take a quick walk. Hi, this is Deborah Hensley with State Farm, reminding you to be a good neighbor and get where you're going safely.
Radio Lex has the support of Groovolution. Give in to the groove. Groovolution.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. So many movies that people are chiming in on the show thread. Love and Basketball was a good one.
Oh, absolutely.
When they played the final game for his heart.
Yeah, and he said double or nothing.
The upside down kiss from the Spider-Man movie.
Oh, yes.
Amber, the theme that I come into is a theme that has been on your television set for 21 years, the Dr. Phil Show. Dr. Phil has announced that he is ending his daytime talk show after 21 seasons on the air. That's unbelievable. So many iconic television stars are leaving television.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't look the same as it used to.
No, not at all.
Daytime is changing. We talked about the daytime shows going away. Wendy Williams, Ellen DeGeneres. Now Dr. Phil, who quite possibly was the king of daytime because all of his predecessors had retired. Maury, Jerry. So now we don't have Dr. Phil. He is ending his show. He says that he still plans on working with CBS. He plans on still being on television. He wants to do prime time.
Okay.
He says he wants out of daytime and he wants to do prime time,
Well,
which is going to require him to not do his show anymore. The Dr. Phil show was a good show. He covered some serious topics. He's helped a lot of people, drug addicts, people addicted to things other than drugs. He's covered psychological issues, marriage issues, behavioral issues. He's done so many things, so many important things. And, of course, he is also responsible for the infamous Cash Me Outside. Yeah. What you just said. He's responsible for creating her. Did you know that she had her own song?
I love that song.
She's got her own album now.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Gucci Flip Flops.
Gucci Flip Flops.
It's a banger, actually.
Oh, yes.
What's her name? Bad Barbie?
Bad Bobby.
Bad Bobby?
Yeah.
Barbie?
Danielle something. Danielle B.
Think about it. All because of that one appearance from the Dr. Phil show, she got a record deal.
See, that's why he's moving to prime time. He trying to get that bad baby money. Bad Barbie money. He want Gucci Flip Flops too.
It's a good song. Roughly 2 million viewers tune in every day for the 1 hour long Dr. Phil show. It is the second most watched daytime show on the air. The series and its host have been nominated for 31 daytime Emmys.
Wow.
Dr. Phil holds a doctoral degree in clinical psychology, but he stopped maintaining an active license after he started appearing regularly on the Oprah Winfrey Show in the late 1990s.
Yep.
A lot of people might not know this, but Dr. Phil was discovered by Oprah Winfrey.
Yes.
What a person to discover you.
Oprah, please find us.
Well, Oprah sprinkles her magic on things and it just blossoms. And she used to have Dr. Phil on her show as just a psychologist to come on just every now and then, do specials. And the audience loved him so much, and so did she. She was like, I'll produce your show. So she became the producer, and Dr. Phil's show became successful. Now, it's not just because Oprah was producer.
No.
Obviously, Dr. Phil had to pull his weight.
He had to bring it too.
And he did. Phil McGraw, a Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame inductee, has expanded his media brand by launching 2 podcasts and authoring 9 books over his career. He also is the executive producer of a legal drama, So Help Me Todd, based on his early career as a forensic psychologist.
Well.
Yes. So Dr. Phil, he's had a lot of great moments over the years. I love it when Dr. Phil would bring on guests with behavioral issues.
Oh, those were the best.
Let me play a clip here from one of his past shows where this girl contacted Dr. Phil herself because she felt like her mom wasn't giving her enough in her allowance.
Okay.
And Dr. Phil, she thought, needed to have a talk with her.
With her mommy?
So let's take a listen at a clip from the Dr. Phil show. I love that she came to Dr. Phil for help. Because whose side do you think Dr. Phil is going to be on here?
Most definitely not hers.
Now, here's a bunch of jumble clips I put together because it's impossible to show the whole interview. But Dr. Phil tells her she needs to get a job, and she doesn't like the news. So much work. I loved it though. That was entertaining when he would bring on guests like that.
Oh my goodness.
Now, Dr. Phil would also have very serious episodes, like this one, for instance, when he interviewed a guy who murdered his mom with a sledgehammer. And the guy did one interview, and one interview only, and it was with Dr. Phil from prison. Listen here. His mom was asleep when he did this.
Oh.
He laughs. He's laughing as he's... That's insane.
That was the most creepiest sounding voice I think I've ever heard in my life.
But Dr. Phil was asking questions that everybody was thinking.
Oh, yes.
Did you swing the hammer? Did you swing it hard? Did she wake up?
What it sound like?
What it sound like? And he said a wet thump, and he laughed.
And then he giggled.
He giggled, and he was giggling through it. So just a lot of just evilness.
Ooh.
Just in that.
Ooh.
And but that's the type of stuff Dr. Phil would have on his show. But it's going away. Now, it's not really going to mean that he's disappearing forever. Like I said, he'll be in prime time. Hopefully we get more stuff like this.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Get a revamp.
But it's still sad when a person that you grew up with and a person that was on TV every day will no longer be a part of that norm for you. The Dr. Phil show ended.
Another staple gone.
Yes. Insane. But ladies and gentlemen, we still have lots more Off the Cuff with Adam Banks coming at you live after these words. We will be right back.
You are listening to Radio Lex, WLXU 93.9 LPFM, Lexington, Kentucky.
Radio Lex has the support of corner sponsor
Who was that?
Bluegrass Community Foundation,
His name was.
BGCF.org.
I don't know.
Do you know that your car is worth more than the no thank you just got from a dealer? Turn nothing into something powerful by donating that car to Radio Lex. All you need is the title and we'll take care of the rest. It's safe, fast, and easy, and you may qualify for a tax deduction. Your generous donation will help fuel the programming on WLXU and WLXL. Go to radiolex.us/talk. Are you buckled up? Are your passengers?
seatbelt laws are required by law in the state of Kentucky, and for good reason. If you're in a crash, wearing a seatbelt can cut
Wow,
your
we love
chances of
telling
dying
that one.
almost in half.
Yeah, I seen that.
Hi, this is Drew Grease with State Farm, reminding you to be a good neighbor and wear your seatbelt every time. Radio Lex has the support of vinyl sponsor Gloria Hansen. Thanks, Gloria.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. Wally says on the show thread, have you seen the episode where the guy from Bumfights dressed up as him and came on the show? Yes, I have.
Dressed up like Dr. Phil, didn't he?
Yes, and Dr. Phil kicked him off the show and said, you can leave now. You can leave.
I feel like Dr. Phil gets so much hate.
He does. He's laughing all the way to the bank.
All the way to the bank, baby. Him and Bad Bobby.
This is Lizzo with her song About Damn Time. This is the record of the year at this year's Grammys. I always was confused. What's the difference between record of the year, song of the year? Record of the year means it's a collaboration of the whole song. Like you are recognizing the singer, the producers, the writer, the engineers, everybody
Yeah.
involved on the song. And then song of the year is just simply recognizing the artist.
Okay. Like the person who put it out there.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the record of the year, which is supposed to be a bigger award than song.
Okay. A great one.
A lot of things happened at the Grammys this year. Did you get a chance to watch the Grammys?
I mean, I've definitely watched a lot of pieces of it, not in its entirety.
It's
though.
hard to watch things in its entirety. We don't live in that type of world no more.
No, we live in the clip
Yes.
world.
Little short clips. They made you think that it was Beyonce's big night. Oh, Beyonce, she broke this record. She broke that record, which she did. She did break records. However, I read an interesting stat about Beyonce. It says here that Beyonce is she has won more Grammys than anyone ever with 32. But she's never won album or record of the year, which is to say the biggest Grammys of them all.
Yeah.
She was shut out again this year in 2023, didn't win the big awards, but she did make history by winning the most.
Yeah.
But the thing is if you've got 30-something
Yeah.
and you haven't won one of the big four,
Yeah. Well,
record of the year, song of the year, album of the year, new artist of the year, like, what are your Grammys for?
I'm going to be looking at my team.
So, was it a big night for Beyonce? Yeah, sure. Personally, I think Beyonce's way overrated.
I was waiting on that one.
They had the memoriam this year. A lot of people in music passed away. It was a pretty cool memoriam because they had different covers
Yeah.
of iconic legends that have passed. I know they had Casey Musgraves pay tribute to Loretta Lynn by performing Coal Miner's Daughter.
With her guitar, the little Loretta Lynn guitar.
Did you actually see her performance?
Yeah, a little bit.
It was good.
It was.
It was
She's good.
And she sang with a twang.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm just a coal miner's daughter.
She did it right.
Where was it from?
In a cabin on a hill in Butcher Holler.
Yes, she did amazing. You had Takeoff, the Migos rapper, was memorialized by his uncle and groupmate Quavo, as well as members of Maverick City Music. Fleetwood Mac's Christine McVie received a tribute performance by Sheryl Crow, Bonnie Raitt, and Mick Fleetwood. Those personal ties gave the package this year some added oomph,
Yeah.
I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Another thing that I took away from the Grammys this year is that country music is dying.
Oh, yes.
Yes. There was nobody that took home a major award in the country category.
Yeah.
Willie Nelson won for the album for the country album.
He should win everyone for that.
Yes, for the country album. He's having a 90th birthday party this year.
I know, he's still mopping the floor on these people.
Yes, and he's going to be having a huge celebration. I wouldn't mind going to it. It's just all the way in California.
I mean, if somebody sends us the invitation with the address, we'll be there.
Really?
Yeah, we'll go.
I'd go.
Uh-huh.
Viola Davis hit a milestone at the Grammys this year. She has won not only now a Grammy, but she's a winner of all 4 major awards in the history of awards. She's now won a Grammy, she's won a Oscar, she's won a Tony, and she's won an Emmy.
And she won me, because I love Viola Davis.
Right. Can you believe that?
That is cool, though.
Yes, she won Best Audiobook Narration and Storytelling Recording. It doesn't have the same ring to it as Album of the Year.
Yeah.
But that's still a Grammy.
Yeah, because she's not even really, that ain't even her forte.
That's her forte.
Yeah.
Viola Davis
Swooped in.
She swoops in to an industry that ain't even her industry and wins the major award. in it.
That's when you know you're good.
That's when you know you're good. So they call people like that, they call them EGOTs. EGOTs. That means they've won an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony.
Okay.
You're an EGOT. But yes, there are 4 major Grammys given out. That is the Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best New Artist. If you want a complete list of the Grammy nominees and winners, you can check that out on Off the Cuff's Facebook page at facebook.com/Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. But let's go over the major awards. Album of the Year went to Harry Styles for Harry's House.
Yeah.
Record of the Year went to About Damn Time by Lizzo. Song of the Year was Just Like That, featuring Bonnie Raitt.
Hey, I love Bonnie Raitt.
How old is she?
I thought she was in her 50s back in the early 90s, so I ain't got a clue.
She's old.
Well,
Bless her heart.
and still mopping the floor with these people.
Yeah.
2023.
Hey, she looked shocked when she won.
Well, I wasn't.
Yes, apparently it's a really sad song.
Yeah.
What movie was that for? She wrote. Yeah, but she's the winner. And then Best New Artist, she must be really new because I've never heard of her. Samara Joy.
I don't know.
Who is that?
Not me.
Do you know anything she sings?
I didn't even know her name,
Yeah.
so not me.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That, folks, was the Grammy covering it so you don't have to watch it.
Well, now look, you didn't even talk about Ben
Ben?
Affleck.
What Ben do?
Have you not seen Ben Affleck's face from the Grammys?
What happened there?
Oh my goodness. So, yeah, I guess at one point J-Lo kind of hit him in the belly and told him to sit up straight. Whoever was the cameraman at the Grammys, I think that person should be followed next year because they got every good shot they could possibly get. Every time they zoomed in on Ben Affleck, he looked more and more sad, more and more depressed, and he hated his life more than I did watching it at my house on my couch, and he was there.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I didn't understand.
You're married to J-Lo. How bad can your life be?
Well, she's hitting him in the belly, telling him to sit up straight. I guess it probably ain't too good now, is it?
Yeah. I wouldn't want somebody to tell me to sit up straight.
Oh my, it's
You ain't my mom.
It's kind of sad. I think that's actually what Perez Hilton said. Mommy hitting her son, telling him to sit up straight.
That's exactly what that's
That's
like.
exactly what it was
You
like.
wanna emasculate some man, treat him like his mommy would.
Oh, just watch Ben Affleck's face throughout the night at the Grammys.
That ain't lasting.
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Off the Cuffs to take its Song of the Week break. Let's listen to a little Tyler Childers with his song Feathered Indians. We'll be back after the song. What's that? Oh, well.
Well, guess it's a good thing I got that shirt.
I have seen that, Wally. That is hilarious. And Dr. Phil, he says, you can go.
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 You can go. Was he in that same building that we were in?
Who?
Dr. Phil. Where was he? Where did he broadcast from?
Probably. Yeah, that makes sense. Chicago, Harpo Studios.
Nice studio.
Probably the same studio as Oprah.
Probably. We were there.
Tyler Childers will be in Lexington at Railbird this year in June. Railbird is June the 3rd and the 4th, a big festival here in central Kentucky.
It is. I think it's a sellout already, too.
Tyler Childers will be a headliner at that event. He will be the Sunday headliner.
Mm-hmm.
I know on Saturday they've got Weezer,
I guess. Sheryl Crow.
Sheryl Crow, and then Tyler Childers the very next day. It's a big lineup.
With Ricky Skaggs.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Ricky Skaggs and Tyler Childers in one concert.
I'll be there.
Insanity.
I'd like to see it.
Oh, it's going to be a good time.
Amber, it is February the 9th, which means we are in Black History Month.
Okay.
Last week, we talked about the importance of Black history and the Black figures that made an impact here in this world. And every February, people in the United States, they celebrate the achievements and history of African Americans as part of Black History Month. And that's what I want to do here on Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. I would like to take a historical African American figure and talk about the great contributions that they have done here in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And Black History Month was designated in 1976, and it's been recognized by every U.S. president since.
Okay.
Last week we talked about Rosa Parks,
Mm-hmm.
a big,
Huge.
a huge influence on the segregation situation. She
Mhm.
helped with segregation in the South.
She pushed things in the right direction.
Absolutely. And a lot of people probably thought when we started doing this, we were going to start off talking about Dr. Martin Luther King. I mean, why not? Maybe the most famous African American in the history of the world. No single African American in history is perhaps more famous than Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Mm-hmm.
and otherwise known as MLK. So that's who I would like to talk about today in celebration of Black History Month is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He has his own day in January. It's the third Monday each January. They celebrate his honor. We learn about his dedication and his devotion to his civil rights activism in the 1950s and the 60s. He was a Baptist minister in the city of Montgomery by trade and a prominent civil rights activist. And he was known for doing nonviolent means of protesting the segregation of whites and blacks in the United States. we all know that MLK's assassination at the hands of a white man in 1968 sparked riots and mourning across the world. He gave also one of the most powerful speeches in the history of public speaking. I teach public speaking, Amber. I've heard maybe 100,000 speeches in my life, but none quite possibly could be as impactful and as historical as the Martin Luther King Jr. I Have a Dream speech. Is there any more of a powerful speech than that?
Absolutely not.
Now, there was no breaking of windows,
No.
flipping over cars,
No
setting
cussing.
buildings on fire. No, it was a peaceful speech, peaceful protest.
Moving. It was moving.
Very moving. Look at the power and the impact that Rosa Parks and Dr. Martin Luther King had on the world by peaceful protesting.
Just speaking the truth.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we still have one more segment to go. Stick with us. We will be right back.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager, learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for greatest of all time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my favorite. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Let's go places safely, Lexington. Which way are you going? If you don't use your turn signals, no one knows. Don't expect other drivers to read your mind. Use your turn signals at intersections, when you change lanes, and any other time you need other drivers to know your intentions. Make turn signals a habit, and if you're not sure, use them. Hi, I'm Bev from Toyota, reminding you that turn signals are how you communicate safely on the road.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. Last segment of the hour. This is Kane Brown, a country artist who is crossing over into the pop world.
Oh.
Hey, if he keeps putting out music like this, I might start listening to Kane Brown.
Wait, that's country?
No, he's crossing over. Into pop.
Okay.
And this is his first pop song.
Okay.
It's called Grand.
Yeah.
And he's trying to cross over like most country artists do, because we know that you've reached the mainstream when you go into the pop world.
Yes.
But Kane Brown is coming to Rupp Arena on March the 11th, so almost a month away. He will be in Lexington at Rupp, performing probably songs off of his pop album. Who all has crossed over from country to pop that was successful. Shania Twain did it. Taylor Swift did it. Kane Brown's doing it.
Let's see.
A lot of people have tried. I know Faith Hill tried.
Yeah. I mean, hey, This Kiss might be one of the best songs ever.
Cry was kind of her crossover song. Won't you cry a little and die yes.
Die a little.
There's more, though.
Yeah.
Country artists who have tried to cross over to pop. But nonetheless, Amber, here on the show, we are going to do a new segment.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to say a new segment. Maybe like a little something, just kind of like a series.
Okay.
Yes, and we'll start it in this segment. Amber, this is a show of facts.
We love facts here.
We love facts here on Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. We talk about all kinds of facts, holiday facts, presidential facts.
Any kind of trivia you need to know.
On this day facts. It's a very educational show. How much have you learned from just this show?
A lot. You know that.
Yes. So, Amber, I thought it would be fun to, every now and then, when I'm feeling frisky, to do this segment. Give the audience random fun facts that they probably did not know.
Okay.
And I would like to call this segment Random Fun Facts You Probably Didn't Know, Part 1.
Okay.
So, I have thousands of facts to give the audience, but I can't go through 1,000 facts today.
No.
So I'm going to call this part 1.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean we'll do part 2 next week? No. Maybe, but maybe not. I might include part 2 next week, but I might include it a month from now.
You got to give my little brain enough time to process the new info you're giving me.
But I'm going to do it until all of these facts are read all off of this piece of paper that I have.
All right.
And we'll start today. This is called Random Fun Facts You Probably Didn't Know, Part 1, ladies and gentlemen. Amber, did you know that German chocolate cake is named after a guy named Sam German? It's not the country.
Oh, seriously?
A lot of people say German chocolates, get you some German chocolates.
German chocolate?
Has nothing to do with the country.
Yeah. Okay.
Almost as many people were killed by beheading in Nazi Germany as in the French Revolution.
Ooh.
The creature that kills the most people every year isn't snakes, sharks, or even other humans. It's the mosquito.
The skeeters.
Have you ever been bitten by a mosquito?
You know I have. Eat up with them. They love me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They carry diseases.
I know.
Lyme disease.
They don't carry Lyme disease.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm an environmentalist. I should know this.
Yes. I think.
Malaria?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Oh, maybe not. What am I
That's
thinking of? Ticks. Well, what does
mosquitoes carry malaria,
which is
West
bad.
Nile virus, stuff like that.
Which ain't good.
No, neither one of those are good by no means.
The Sun City Palms is a cheerleading squad in Arizona that only people 55 or older can join.
Okay, I know where I'm going when I turn 55.
What in tarnation is literally just another way of saying what the hell.
Oh, well, what in tarnation?
Chainsaws, the horror movie murder weapon of choice, was invented for aid in childbirth. Imagine Jason Voorhees coming at you with a chainsaw while you're having a baby.
That's why we ain't having kids.
There's an island in Japan you can visit that's inhabited only by friendly bunnies.
Oh.
Talk about therapeutic.
Talk about where I want to be right now.
Unless you're afraid of bunnies.
Well, then that would suck.
There are actually more public libraries in the U.S. than McDonald's.
Okay, finally.
I don't believe that.
I don't either. But...
I don't believe that. If that's true, I need to fact check this one here.
Yeah.
The last letter added to the English alphabet wasn't Z, it was the letter J.
Well,
it's amazing how things end up where they're at.
Why we put it all the way up at the front?
I'm not sure. In 1518, a dancing plague took over the town of Strasbourg, France.
Mm-hmm.
What was that about?
What they call it, giddiness. Is that where that word came from?
Yeah.
People wouldn't stop dancing. They just would pass out from exhaustion.
What was the point?
Oh, it was something.
A lot of good music out?
I don't believe so. It was back in the day. I think there was something going on.
People wore fake moles or beauty patches is what they call them, made of velvet, silk, or mouse skin in the 18th century as a fashion statement.
Well,
isn't that something? No, don't you remember a mole used to be considered a fashion statement?
I think until Austin Powers made it a huge joke. I would agree with that.
But I remember, though, when moles used to be a fashion statement. Like if you had a mole on your mouth, like your lip, like because that's where it was located.
Yep.
And people would put fake moles there.
Madonna.
And they called it a beauty mark.
Well.
What's beauty about that?
I don't know. Well, they thought it was beauty and they made a mark.
They thought it was beauty.
Thought it was beautiful.
Mole?
I don't know.
Austin Powers did kind of.
He did. He earned that.
Yes. It's amazing to think that now the world wants they want perfection. That's why they have all these filters. But back in the 1800s, people would purposely put a mole on their face. When now people would just want to clear it up.
Cut it off.
People, let's see, this is before the invention of color TV, 75% of people said they dreamed in black and white.
Oh, well.
And today, only 12% of people say they dream in black and white. I guess they're old-timers. But it's funny. I wonder if that's true.
I mean, I don't remember my dreams enough to know like color and things like that.
I do.
Really?
Yes, I remember the colors of people's clothes distinctly. I remember there was this guy that was chasing me, and he had on a red checkered flannel.
Well,
and it wasn't Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, I was gonna say Freddy coming for you.
Yes, but I remember that very specifically. It was bright red. So
okay, I will make a mental note.
The fact that people dreamed in black and white, that's interesting. I also sometimes wonder, like, what people who speak many different languages, what do you dream in? What do you think in?
Like, what language do you dream in?
Like my stepmom, for instance, when she goes to sleep, you know, she's Spanish, but she speaks English. She's spoken it for all of her life, but that's her secondary language. So when she thinks, does she think in Spanish or English?
Oh, I don't know. Like her voice in her head.
Yeah, the voice in your head. Is it Spanish or is it English?
We need to know this.
And as far as a dream, are you dreaming in your native tongue or are you dreaming in the secondary tongue?
Yeah. Ooh.
A female architect student prevented a Manhattan skyscraper from collapsing in the 1970s when she caught a massive design flaw.
Ooh.
I love that because it was in the 70s when females were kind of shooed out of the way. And here it was a female that prevented a major Manhattan skyscraper fall.
Look at there.
It's illegal to own just one guinea pig in Switzerland because they get lonely.
Well.
Can't do that.
Well.
Wombat poop is cube-shaped.
Okay.
The British royal family isn't allowed to play Monopoly.
Why? Because they'll take all the money?
Popcorn wasn't wasn't always a beloved movie snack. In fact, prior to the Great Depression, movie theaters hated popcorn.
Why?
Have no idea.
That's insanity.
Maybe it just got stuck in people's teeth.
I mean, you've seen me every time.
Paper bags aren't any better for the environment than the plastic ones.
I mean, I disagree on that.
I miss paper bags.
Paper bags are awesome.
I wish we would go back to it, but what would I put in my trash cans at home, like in my office?
Like in your bathroom?
In my bathroom.
Yeah.
Don't everybody use a Walmart bag?
I thought so.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just us.
I've got way too many
Recycling.
Way too many of those.
Ooh.
In the 19th century, experts warned women about a disease called bicycle face, which meant getting stuck with the awkward faces they made while biking.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't you ever heard, don't do that, your face will get stuck
Your face will get stuck like that.
And then just a few more here. It says the voice of Mickey Mouse and the voice of Minnie Mouse got married in real life.
Oh, that's cool.
A can of Mountain Dew can dissolve a mouse.
Mm-hmm.
For a short time, the planet Uranus was named George.
Well.
Until the 1980s, it was illegal for a woman to drive a car down Main Street in Waynesboro, Virginia, unless her husband was walking in front of the car waving a red flag. And finally, two more here. Movies have to clarify that they're fiction because of a 1930s lawsuit that traces back to none other than Rasputin.
Oh.
And then finally, the last one here, Iceland has an elf whisperer who inspects construction sites before anything gets built to make sure no elves are hanging around.
How do I get that job?
Right.
Where can I sign up? I'm on my way.
But out of all those facts, did you know hardly any of them?
I mean, I knew a few, but you got me on the German chocolate cake.
There you go, folks. Those are facts that you probably did not know, and there's still so many more to read off. But ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time, so we can't continue the list. We'll continue it at a later date. I want to thank you for listening to another episode of Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. If you like what you heard today, you can listen to it again on podcast. You can subscribe to the Off the Cuff with Adam Banks podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube. You can follow me, the host, on social media at The Adam Banks. You can follow the co-host, Amber, on social media at Ambu447. You can follow the show on social media at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. We release new episodes every Thursday right here from 4 to 5 on WLXU 93.9 FM, which means we will be back next week, same time, same place. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Amber Turner. I'm Adam Banks, and this is Off the Cuff. We'll catch you down the road.